All right, stress is defined as a state of mental tension and worry caused by problems in your life, work, etc.
And co-hosts.
Right.
And there's almost no one who gets through this life without dealing with it on one level or another.
All right, but what are we all stressing about? We decided to hit the streets to find out.
I am most stressed out in the day, actually, usually before I go to bed, and I'm kind of trying to anticipate the next day. And then at times in the morning, if I haven't slept well because I've spent the night stressing about something.
What stresses me out the most is trying to get to work on time in the morning.
I am most stressed out probably in the middle of the day. Like when I'm trying to handle everything, can't get back to folks that call me and that kind of thing.
My highest stress level time is in the morning when I'm trying to map out my day and the phone's ringing and people are wanting everything all at once.
Things that probably stress me out the most are kids, work, and just trying to balance everything through everyday life.
All righty, so here to help turn that stress into positive energy is psychologist Elizabeth Lombardo, the author of A Happy You, Your Ultimate Prescription for Happiness. You look like a happy little elf.
Yes, you certainly do.
Thank
you very much.
So was the first woman right? She said we stress mainly she stresses in the morning and at night before she goes to bed.
I mean, it really varies according to what's going on in our lives. But what we have to remember is that all stress isn't bad. There's actually good stress.
That's eustress.
Eustress, exactly.
EU. It's a
right.
Latin word for good or something like that.
Yes, something like that. Yes, yes. So distress is what we think of as stress. It's feeling overwhelmed and anxious.
You
can't focus, you can't sleep. And that eustress is that positive stress. It motivates us and inspires us to get things done.
Give us an example of a good kind of stress. Like
a wedding, planning a wedding. Hopefully that's a positive thing you're looking forward to.
But it can it can easily become distress.
It can.
If you don't manage it well. It seems to be it's about managing. We have really busy days in the next 3 days, and Hoda and I were just talking about that. You got to take it one thing at a time, don't you? If you look at the whole thing, it can freak you out.
Because it's not actually the situation that causes stress, it's what we're saying to ourselves. Yeah. So if you have 3 days of, oh my gosh, I got to get this done, how am I going to do it? It's never going to get done. That's what's causing that stress. So one day at a time is a great way to really deal with that, one moment at a time.
They call it, like, isn't it anticipatory stress? Like you're thinking, oh my God, this is the next thing that's coming. I used a big word. Just pointing that out.
Anticipatory. Is it because we're afraid it's not going to work out well, or we're just not going to accomplish it somehow, or what are we afraid of with stress?
We tend to be very perfectionist. We want everything to be perfect instead of focusing on the passion, instead of focusing on the fun and why you're doing this.
Yeah. And it's hard sometimes, though, to see the fun because you know that you have a deadline, you know that your boss needs it by Wednesday, and finding the joy in that isn't always easy.
It's not always easy, but again, it's about your interpretation. So if you have a big presentation, you can focus on, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get it done, I'm not going to sleep. That would be the distress. But the eustress would be something like, you know what, this is a tough project, and I know I can do it. It's going to take a lot of time and energy, but it's going to be a great way to showcase to my boss how good I am.
Well, go on.
No, I was just going to say that I don't remember. No, I was just going to say that I think it's everybody's anticipations are different, and our priorities are really, really different. I remember the other day I had to rush home to get on a telephone because I was going to be late for an interview, but I ended up passing right by my neighbor who's been battling cancer, and I said, you know what, I made the wrong choice. That my choice should always be the neighbor. I walked over the next day, took over a bottle of wine, and we sat, and it meant the world that I was just glad I caught myself like, don't make the wrong choice, Kathy. It's always about people, and that stressed me out that I made the wrong choice.
Right, but again, you can
Why
always
am I yelling?
I'm passionate.
That's what you do.
Yeah, so really focusing, and I call it Goldilocks syndrome. So Goldilocks didn't want her porridge too hot or too cold. She wanted it just right.
But
that's what we want our
stress
to be too.
To be around somebody that's never happy with anything.
Right, right. So we want to look at stress being, you want some stress, no stress, and you're bored to death. Too much stress, we're overwhelmed. So looking for that happy medium, the just right for you.
I told you, Hody.
That's what I thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.